people keep making reference to a Supreme Court decision that sort of guarantees financial autonomy for local government. What that means is that local government should get their funds directly. That is not to say the control provided for under the Constitution by the states over the affairs of local government remains. Section 7 of the Constitution is very clear that the State House of Assembly has a duty of making a law for the existence, management, and control of local governments. That provision of the law has not been amended. So it was pursuant to that particular law, the Edo State local government law was made. And there was a recent request by the governor that the chairman of the 18 local government should submit their statements of accounts. A time limit was given, and unfortunately they refused to, but rather they now said they will resort to court to challenge the authority of the state government to ask for those statements. And you can imagine a situation where you have local government chairmen, they are busy using local government funds to do certain things that are not in conformity with specific guidelines and financial regulations.
Let it be on record that a lot of things that everybody has celebrated about this Bola Tinubu's achievement, so to speak, are only propaganda. They are just on paper. Because I know the hula baloo, the noise that have been made about local government fiscal autonomy that has risen a whole lot of applause for the sitting government. Of course, you can hear it right now. That the July 16th judgment by the Supreme Court, according to law, was supposed to have been effected from day one. But we are aware, according to Wale Edun, Minister of Finance and also coordinating Minister of Economy, he agreed that there are some operational reasons why the law of the Apex Court of Nigeria is not yet fully being implemented. Why the law, and if you understand what legal precedents understand, just like the legislative arm, just like the Supreme Court also possess its own power and right to be able to make laws for this country. And by that judgment has become a law. Yet the sitting government has an operational reason why a law of the Apex Court cannot be implemented. And then the Supreme Court has not been able to say, hey, and that's the point. That is a matter, quoting section 7 of the Constitution that empowers the House of Assembly and by extension the state government to be able to somehow manipulate the system and get away with abuse of power and executive rascality. The section 162 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, which of course is the most fraudulent document in the world, the biggest encumbrance to the progress and development of Nigeria. And by anybody that understands that has sense in it, will understand how dangerous the 1999 Constitution is. That law was supposed to have automatically replaced the section 162. But guess our politicians, they are exploiting the section 162 of the Constitution. What's in the section 162? The law that provided for a joint account where the federal allocation to state and local government is paid to a joint account. Whereas, if the political will of the sitting government is actually being seen, what it required was the Central Bank of Nigeria would have been mandated to open an account for 774 local governments in this country, and their money is paid directly to that account from where they can be able to access it at any way. Just of course the way state government access it. But of course, because we are a propagandist nation, because we are a country that make noise online and offline we are soft, we are a country where the statistics online show that life is getting better for Nigerians. Where statistics online shows that more revenues have come in the last 12 months. Where statistics online shows that people in Nigeria, there's a reduction in inflation. Statistics online show that there is reduction in capital, in human capital index. In reality, people can literally not feed. That's where we are with our system. And there's no rock bottom. It's getting messier by the day. If there is a political will to implementing the ruling of the Supreme Court, the Apex Court in Nigeria, people like Edaze Emata and his political jobbers will not be using the Constitution to usurp the law of the Supreme Court judgment of July 16th. Whereas, my point hereafter is that while we have all celebrated a perceived judgment of the Supreme Court to have offered local government fiscal autonomy, some of us have said that we are jokers. The same way that we have a perceived tax reform bill that tend to offer partial solutions to our economic problem as a people. Whereas we're asking, go back to the Constitution of Nigeria. Let us expunge the part of the Constitution that tend to be encumbrance, that tend to be obstacles to our progress. The 30% derivation, resource control, true federalism. These are things that we are asking for at the point in this country. Any true person who is sincere to the heart and wants to grow this country, we are in a deeper mess than we were from the beginning. We are in a deeper mess. Now we have contradictory legal documents, legal framework, judgment, laws that are in the public place, and why the executive, because of abuse of power and rascality, want to use some sections of this constitution, the same section, the same constitution. So why are we deceiving? Why are we deceiving ourselves? Oh, so people that's why you see. And then I'm not here to even respond to dons and non-entities. We have on this platform, sometimes when I see some comment, I wonder what attracted you in the first place. And I'm looking out for things like that attracted such level of dons and non-entities. And I don't even respond again. I block you, I remove you, because you're not supposed to be here. This is too healthy, too sophisticated for some kind of minds. And then I see some comment and it cringes me. It makes me feel very terrible that I have allowed people who are not supposed to even have, that are supposed, before you buy data, buy sense. And I'm not saying this because I have attachment, but I'm bothered as a country, as a Nigerian, to say we have a judgment of the apex court that automatically becomes law. There are sections of the Constitution that seems to antagonize that kind of, and then the Supreme Court that, whereas the National Assembly, whose goal was to have looked back at the 1999 Constitution that we have all agreed here, that was like a decree that was made by the military administrators of this country prior to 1999 handover to civilian rule, and handed over to politicians for them to run. That we have long outgrown. We have long out. That should not be something within the confines of the history of this country at all. Should have been kept away in the bin and left as an history document. It's not as easy to run a country like this in 2024 with all the challenges that before us. The same way we had electoral reforms that we embraced and thought was the hope, only for us to see that there are sections of the Constitution that antagonizes the reforms. And of course, what else is the most supreme document in the land? The Constitution, of course. We are joking. And if we truly want to have a country, these are where to start from. People like Adaze, Okpebholo, the city governor, the speaker, Blessing Okpebholo, that have taken advantage. They see the loophole, they see these leakages, and they will think that we have a country. We are not ready for development. If we truly are ready, we will focus on the main problem, deal with the issues that are supposed to be priorities. Priorities. I pity local council authorities. I pity them because they are handicapped. They are going to go to court. The city government is asking you. Of course, the dangers are that, just so you know, the dangers are that there will be no more monies available to look at. They are suspended, and the monies are paid to the jack. The monies are paid directly to the state account. So the account that the local government monies are paid for is the same account the monies of the state governments are paid for. And by state governors suspending them, all those things you are seeing on social media, it doesn't work, cannot stand their story. They will not be able to run their local government effectively by any means. And even at that, whatever has been put in the account, they cannot access it. It's a problem. They are going to write